Hey, how's it going? Sean here. So I want to share something that actually happened today. Something is so encouraging. And so, as you guys may know, that every Thursday, around like starting 5 p.m. to 6:50, I had two preceptorship sessions. And so, as being a TA, I have to answer questions from students. And so they have a worksheet and they have do problem. But if they get stuck, then I'll be the one helping them. And so it was pretty tired, after almost 2 hours and answering a bunch of questions from them. And right after that, at the same classroom, that is where the crew meets. We have a large group every Thursday night, and right before it started, we are outside of the classroom, and I was chatting with someone else, and there's a guy approached me and asked me, "This is the Commons 105, right?" And that is the classroom that we about go in and to listen to the message for a large group every Thursday. I said, "Yes, this is Common 105," and he asked me, "This is crew, right?" I say, "Correct, you are right." And just starting that moment, I noticed this guy is so cool. He have a heart to know God, and such a gentleness in his heart. The way he talked, the way he wanted to get to know me more is so encouraging. And then we had a lot of great conversation throughout the tonight's large group. And usually we have some kinds of discussion questions. So at that kinds of time, we talk more about our faith with God. And right after that, he started to ask me. He say, "Hey Sean, can you share about your story? Can you share your testimony?" I say, "Absolutely." And I share my story. I share how, I was, both my parents are Christians, and I raised being Christians, but I'm not really into God. I'm not really, you know, you know, you know, serious about my faith. Um, but God changed me only starting a very small thing. It's just like I started reading Bible, and God just changed me every step of the way. And it's just so amazing that he had this kinds of curiosity that wanted to know my story with God. And I also asked him, he basically shared that both his parents weren't Christian but went to church when he was a child, and they went to a mega church, which a lot of people, but because his mom was kind of busy on Sunday, so they end up not going to church afterwards. So for about 10 years, from when he was 11 years old to 21, which is last year, and he was basically, you know, walking in his own path. It's not rely on God. He didn't go to church, but only something happens. He felt the calling and wanting to know God more, and so he decided to go back to church and restore that relationship with God. And everything changed. You feel that there's a meaning of life, and there's something special of life. And I think this example of tonight, what happened tonight, give me an encouragement that a lot of time when we go to a Bible study, when we go to this kinds of, sometimes I feel that it's more like a social activities. It's like, yeah, I gather with other Christians, but I feel like sometimes like a social, right? It's not like a Sunday sermons where you listen message, but rather it's like a time when you kind of interacting with other people. I oftentimes feel that it's a waste of time. But today taught me a lesson that a lot of time is actually not um, just for our own growth. A lot of time we go there is because God, have a lot of opportunity for us to share the gospel and to hearing other story and be encouraged. And so I think today, when I had a conversation with him, was such wonderful conversation, and that kinds of experience really, push me and motivate me to wanted to hear more story from other people and how they being brought back to this kinds of family, this Christian family, how God brought them to this kinds of lovely community. And so I think a lot of time I think God really amazing. I was so tired. I went to sleep last night. It was like 2 a.m. in the morning and had a terrible sleep, and got up, and then I still need to go to class, and you know yeah, and I think a lot of times I feel like what I'm doing, I should spend more time and study. I should not going to church, but I still choose to go, and sometimes it's just so hard because a lot of my friends, people around me are not going to church or not even show up in large group on Thursday. And sometimes it's very discouraging, when, other leaders also, I'm a student leaders and other people are not showing up. You feel like, oh, okay, what I'm here, why I am here. And today I noticed that it's not about, whether other people coming or not. It is about that I trust in God, that God will create the opportunity for me to demonstrate his glory and power to people around me. And so it's so much I've learned so much from God and along the way. And so Father, I think Father just really show me how it's like to trusting him without looking, trusting him completely and to focus on him and not being distracted by the things that's surrounding us, whether people coming or not, whether I have a limited time, but knowing that he know and understand and completely sure what my future look like and what I need, the grades I need, the exams grade I need, the future plan, the career. And I think God completely knows that, but a lot of time he challenged me to step out my comfort zone and to surrender to him and to say, God, I can't do anything without you. I have to trust in you. And it has been really tough for me, but I trust that when I put my faith in you, that you give me that kinds of faith and love that is so inspiring, and that kinds of love can also influence people around me. And so I think that's just so sweet. I mean, tonight was so sweet. And so I honestly just wanted to share these things to you guys. And I want to close up with a prayer right now, and then I will say goodnight to you all. Father, thank you so much. It is so grateful to see, God, how you work in each one of us lives. And a lot of time, God, when we struggle, when we don't know where to go, you show up your path. You show us how to reconnect with you and how what is the next step we should take. Father, you say you are the lamp of our feet, the light of our path. God, you never abandon us. You show us how to live a way that honors you, but we oftentimes forget about that. We oftentimes feel that when trusting you is wasting time, trusting you is something that is not desirable, something that people don't really do it. Feel like everyone around us are not doing the same thing as we do to glorify you, and we feel alienated. We feel lonely when trusting you. But Father, I pray that you strengthen our hearts so that we can put our faith in you, and we don't care about what other people think about us. We care about what you think about us. Because God, you know us, you love us, and you know our career and our future. You completely know us because you create us. You love us so much that we could ever imagine. Father, I pray that the people is watching this video right now, I pray that you give them a new heart, to love you more, to glimpse that kinds of so beautiful and so undescribable joy from you. Father, I pray that you give us a new vision and new kinds of perspective that we can fully dedicate our energy and time in you. Not meaning that we should not study, not meaning that we should, like skip classes. It's meaning that through all of these, trying our best, but at the end, still trusting God that everything is out of our control, that God, you are the only one, God, that who is in control, that who love us and show us your best plan for us. So Father, I pray that you continue to show us that we can recognize, we can acknowledge that God, you are in control. And so Father, thank you so much for tonight. I bless everyone who's listened to this video or watching this video. I pray that God, you bless them and give them a new faith, and so that they can walk with you and share how much God you love them to the people around them. So I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.